Interviewer, hi there, thanks for joining me today. Can you start by telling me a little bit about yourself? Interviewee, hi, thank you for having me. My name is Sarah and I'm a recent graduate from the University of California, where I majored in journalism. I'm passionate about writing and storytelling and I'm excited to start my career in this field. Interviewer, that's great. So, what kind of writing do you enjoy the most? Interviewee, I really enjoy feature writing, where I can dive deep into a topic and tell a story that captures people's attention. I also like writing about social issues and bringing attention to topics that may not get as much coverage in the mainstream media. Interviewer, interesting. Can you tell me about a specific story you worked on that you're particularly proud of? Interviewee, sure. One of my favorite stories that I worked on was about a local organization that helps homeless youth in our community. I spent several weeks interviewing the staff and some of the young people they work with. And I was able to tell a really powerful story about the challenges these young people face and the incredible work that the organization does to support them. Interviewer, that sounds like a really impactful story. So, what skills do you think you bring to the table as a journalist? Interviewee, I think my strong writing skills and my ability to connect with people are my biggest strengths. I'm a good listener and I'm able to put people at ease, which allows me to get really great quotes and insights for my stories. I'm also very detail-oriented and I take pride in making sure my writing is accurate and engaging. Interviewer, great. Well, it's been really nice talking with you today. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me. Interviewee, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. Interviewer, before we wrap up, can you tell me a little bit about what you're looking for in your next job? Interviewee, sure. I'm really looking for a position where I can continue to develop my skills as a journalist and work on stories that have a real impact on people's lives. I'm also hoping to find a team that's collaborative and supportive, where I can learn from my colleagues and contribute to a positive work environment. Interviewer, that's great to hear. So, can you tell me about a time when you had to work under pressure to meet a deadline? Interviewee, sure, I had a deadline to submit an article on a tight turnaround for a big publication. I had to interview a number of sources, gather all the necessary information, and then write and edit the article all within a few hours. I was able to stay focused and organized, and I met the deadline with a strong piece that was published the following day. Interviewer, impressive. And finally, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Interviewee, in 5 years, I hope to have continued to develop my skills as a journalist and have made a positive impact on the communities I serve. I would love to be in a leadership position where I can mentor other writers and help them develop their skills. Ultimately, I hope to be recognized as a respected voice in the industry and to continue telling stories that matter. Interviewer, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your insights with us today. It's been a pleasure talking with you. Interviewee, thank you again for having me. It's been great to chat with you. Interviewer, just one more question before we end. Can you tell me about a time when you faced a difficult ethical dilemma as a journalist and how you resolved it? Interviewee, sure. In my previous role, I was working on a story about a local politician who was involved in a scandal. I had some information that would have made the story even more explosive, but it would have involved revealing some confidential information from a source who had trusted me. I had to decide whether to prioritize the scoop or maintain the trust of my source. After consulting with my editor and reflecting on my own values as a journalist, I decided to prioritize my source's trust and not reveal the confidential information. I was still able to write a strong and impactful story without compromising my ethics or my integrity as a journalist. Interviewer, thank you for sharing that example. It's clear that you take your ethical responsibilities as a journalist seriously. We appreciate your time today and wish you the best of luck in your job search. Interviewee, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Please subscribe and press bell icon.